More bad news for Brazil as the unemployment rate rises to 7.5%. Looking at this data and more coming out of the Brazilian economy, I'm joined by Bruno Rovai from Barclays. So Bruno, Brazil's finance minister rebutted forecasts that the Brazilian economy will continue shrinking next year, saying earlier this week, most of the adjustments have already been done. The central bank is controlling inflation, the Brazilian economy is diversified, agriculture is doing very well, we will not have recession and inflation should fall in 2015. Is he right to remain so optimistic?
We believe that actually the political problems are on the surface of uncertainty. So we believe that in the next few months, President Rousseff will be fighting to regain governance, should have to try to pass unpopular fiscal measures to regain credibility and maintain the debt GDP ratios at sustainable levels in the medium term, right? So these two battles, fought separately, they would be already very hard to win, but fighting them together is even harder. Recession, higher FX depreciation, lower congressional support, risks of impeachment for the president, and her approval rating single digits. This all meaning that the political crisis will likely worsen in reducing the probability of any economic corrective measures. Those are fundamentals, right, to maintain the Brazil investment grade rating. So it's exactly this negative feedback between the political crisis and the economic crisis that adds uncertainty regarding the trajectory of fiscal accounts on the medium term. And this is, for me, the biggest, concern of Brazil, and the reason why we are not optimistic on the outlook.
Earlier, we saw the Brazilian unemployment rate come in at 7.5%. In your report, you say that the current labour market deterioration should not come as a surprise, as it's only catching up to the growth slowdown from past years. With today's result, unsurprisingly, showing further deterioration, what does this mean looking ahead?
So today's report, it shows that the increase in the unemployment rate continually to be caused by a higher number of unemployed people at the same time that active labor force also rose. So this means that more people continue to start looking for a job, but they're not able to find them. And this excess supply of labor, it reflects on the wage dynamics. So we see that in real terms, wages continues to decline. Those are fairly negative news for household consumption. So it has been declining throughout the first semester, and this data actually suggests that the worst is not yet behind us.
And as one of the troubled 10 currencies, what can we expect from the real in coming months?
So basically, a weak government, troubled economy, and somewhat unpredictable fiscal and monetary and FX policy. For us, it called for higher risk premium on the financial assets. So this inconsistency between these policies is just a reflection of how complex the situation is and the lack of control that the policymakers have right now. So in these lines, we continue to expect a weaker currency as the fiscal risk premium continued to cheapen the Brazilian assets. We believe that the real should keep its downward trend in this environment where the global economic outlook looks weak and commodity prices continue decreasing. And despite the recent Moody's decision about changing Brazil's credit outlook to stable, we think it's just a matter of time until the agency acknowledges the risk of losing investment grade, as their assumption looks somewhat optimistic in the current environment for us. So this would also add another pressure for a weaker currency.
Well, that's all from Bruno, Barclays and Brazil for now. Thanks for tuning in, and remember to keep up to date with the latest market news and analysis right here on Dukascopy TV.